If we want to run a task to completion in a container in a pod in Kubernetes, then we can use Kubernetes resource jobs. BackoffLimit is an option in Kubernetes jobs. We can use backoffLimit when we want to job to be considered a failure after some amount of retries due to a logical error. We can use spec.backoffLimit in the YAML file of Kubernetes to specify the number of retries before considering a job as failed. The backoff limit is set to 6 by default. On your screen, you can see a typical cron job YAML file or Kubernetes manifest in which we specify the batch API version as batch group for this cron job, and then there is some spec section where we specify the schedule, which is right now every 3 minutes this job will run, and then we specify the container and its container image plus what commands this will be running, and then the restart policy. The restart policy is set to never, which means that even whatever happens to this pod, it will never restart, so it will only run once. By default, it is set to always. So when this task finishes, which is on line number 15, 16, then if it is set to always, the pod will restart. Or we could set it to on failure so that if anything happens here, then it will restart. And as you can see on line number 18, we have specified the backoff limit to 6, which is a default value too. Now, in a simple words, backoff limit specifies the number of retries before job controller gives up. So what I did, I ran this job, a cron job in Kubernetes cluster, and I'm using AWS EKS cluster here. And if you see on line number 16, I'm using this etcos command, which is not a command. So what happens is it fails on this command. So as you can see, because my backoff limit is set to 6, so I have 6 failed pods here. And you can also see it from your describe section. In describe section, it specifies the events of your pod. Now, sometimes you might see 5 or 4 failed pods here when you do the get pods or when you try to describe the jobs. The reason why it happens is because failed jobs associated with the job are recreated by the job controller with an exponential back-off delay. For example, 10 second, then the next field would be 20 second, and then 40 second, and so on. And it is capped at 6 minutes. The back-off count is reset if no new failed pods appear before the job's next status check. If new job is scheduled before job controller has a chance to recreate a pod, job controller starts counting from 1 again. So that is why sometimes you might not be seeing all created pods because period of schedule in the cron job is too short. But in this case, my period is 3 minutes, so I was able to capture all 6 failed pods. So I hope this was helpful in understanding the backoff limit in Kubernetes jobs. If you have any question or feedback, please put them in the comments. Thank you.